Good morning. It's Catherine from my hillside garden. We're going to check on the worm bin today. Here's a clip of what I did earlier in the week. Hello, this is Catherine from my hillside garden, and I'm just going to do a quick update this morning. I'll probably put it in with our weekly update, but I've had a couple of comments from people regarding why the worms are traveling so much in my bin and leaving all the trails. A number of people have told me that perhaps the interior climate, I guess you would call it, or the environment rather, it's a little bit on the acid side. They have suggested that I put in some crushed eggshell. So I did this in my blender. It's not, it could be finer, I know that, but there is quite a bit toward the bottom that is fine. So I'm just going to put a sprinkle on top, and hopefully, I mean, the eggshells won't hurt it to begin with, but hopefully that will help to alter the pH in the bin so that maybe the worms will be happier. We'll see in about 5 days how things look inside. So let's see how the worms did with the eggshells. Okay, we still have, well, there's one guy up there. So let's look down into, and it seems like a good portion of the eggshell has been moved. Oh, where's that little guy? There's a guy crawling up there. But if you can see, there's all eggshell. So they're dragging it around with them. And it is up the sides. So when I go through today, and look, they took it all over the coffee filter. There they are in their private hotel up top. So this week what I'm going to do when I add a little bit of food, I'm going to put some more ground eggshell in there. And I'm going to scrape down the sides and the lid as best as I can. That way we'll be able to get a real view of what is going on during the week when we don't have the bin opened. So let's see how they've done. This is a little bit, I have to get used to having the phone. So I hope the video comes out okay. They seem to be doing really good. Lots of those seeds that I added. Lots of the seeds. I don't see any cocoons yet though. So I don't know. Let's take a little bit closer look to see maybe if we could see any. I might need to add a bit more moisture maybe, because I don't see any cocoons yet. Now I've had them for over a month. I think I have many more worms than what I started with. So, alright, let me move my little plants. I'm going to look underneath here. Well, they're starting to go through the white paper that I put in last week. There's a bunch of them in with the avocado. They're working on that pretty good. And there's the other mango pit. Now remember, these were in the freezer, so I don't think they'll be viable. So they are on that side. So let's see. Yeah, they're getting in there too. So I think what I'm going to do, they do have quite a bit of food there. So I think I'm just going to, oh, look at all the eggshell they pulled down. They pulled that down with them. Okay. There's my buddy waiting to come in. He's impatient and my window is dirty. Sorry about that. Okay. So I think what we'll do, I'm going to spray a little bit with water. I'm going to add some more eggshell and really sprinkle it in and cover it over. And maybe that will help a little bit more, because it does seem awful dry. So maybe that's the other reason why the worms are traveling. Maybe they're looking for moisture. No one actually mentioned if there was a certain rate to apply these eggshells at. And I know I'm going to get quite a bit of large chunks again, but there is quite a bit. It's not as easy to blend up those eggshells as you'd think. But we're going to put a good amount down here now. We'll do it on this side. Wow, that's dusty. And then I have my spray bottle. So we'll spray this in fairly well. And then I'll cover it over. And I'm going to spray some more water. And I'm going to clean down the sides. And that way, hopefully, we'll have some improvement with the worms not trying to get away. I don't know if that's what they're actually doing, but I've been told that they're not happy. Let me bring you back when I'm done with that. What I'm doing is I'm using this little scraper. And I'm just pushing everything down to the bottom of the bin. And that way, hopefully, when we check on it next week, we'll get a better idea, actually, going on in the bin. See him there? That's a tiny little worm. So I do have very small juveniles in there. I don't think I've ever seen one that tiny. I wish I had something to use for scale. But he's a tiny little guy, and he is a worm. He's not a pot worm or anything. Because you can see he's pink, and you could see the material inside his body as he's moving along. Let me see if I could... This is my finger, so you could kind of get a scale. He's a tiny little guy. So I guess something is going right in the worm bin. So I've added some more moisture. I'm going to put a fresh layer of bedding on the top, and we'll see what next week brings us. So I'd really like to encourage anyone who doesn't have a worm bin, that is looking for something new to try, or that has children, to do this with them. It's very interesting how the worms can really go through so much food in a week. It's something you could do all year long, or if you wanted to do it just in the winter, do it in the winter. And I really enjoy it, as you've seen with me doing the videos. So I hope you did like today's video. I hope maybe it showed us all something new, that the eggshells can help, and how much they will work through something and bring it around the bin. Give me a thumbs up if you liked today's video. Subscribe to my channel so you could join me on my journey, not just with the worm bin, but with my gardening. Have a great day.